So, what kind of magic would you do, and how could that be used in a heist?
Oh, God. Well, the important thing that you need to know, Paul, is it's definitely not illegal in this country.
Magic.
And so I get a lady up onto stage.
Oh, yeah.
I scope him out. I come out, and I
spend some time scoping.
I come out, yeah.
It's part of the act.
I come out onto the stage. My opening music is Ace of Spades, obviously. Strobe light is blasted directly into the audience's faces.
How you dressed?
How am I dressed? No.
Oh, okay.
Barely.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, and I come out just waving my tackle about, but they can't really see because the strobe lights are just blasting into their eyes.
You're unlit.
I'm blind now, and whilst they're all going, my eyes, I'm looking and going, no, yes, fitty, and then when this horrible version of myself lands on this person, I call her out for every single magic trick that I do. And by that, I just mean she comes up onto the stage and I point at my balls and go, well, what do you think? And then before she can answer, I just keep whipping out cards from who knows where.
Oh, God.
And go, is this your card? No. Is this your card? No. Is this your card? No. And it's maybe 17 minutes before people go, oh, I get it. It's not about the card. It's where's he pulling the cards from?
Oh, my God.
At which point I'll have bled to death from all the pockets that I'd cut into my body. and then no one can question me on anything. Can't hold me accountable when I'm dead.
There's no comeback from that. You're going to be absolutely fine. And that is heist ready, I think you'll find. My idea was, they've got the Illusionist. They've got the David Blaine-style street magician.
Yep.
They've got the escapologist person.
Yep.
They've got the hypnotist, scatologist. So I'm thinking children's party magician.
Oh, yeah, nice. Kids love dark stuff.
Has anyone got eyes on Salt? Well, I don't know, but there's just so many handkerchiefs everywhere.
Damn it, lads, we'll get in one day.
We can't hear any of their radio mics over the sheer sound of children crying and saying that they wish they had a superhero instead.
You say, well, we are the new superhero. Magic. It's better than science.
It's better than science. We're better than Iron Man, and this is this podcast.
Oh, no.
Hello and welcome to One Good Thing, the podcast whose greatest strength is an empty fist. I'm Paulius Bradley.
Oh my God, I've always got something up my sleeve. It's this dog for you.
Oh, there's a whole
Say
dog.
Hi, friend.
An old dog he had up that sleeve. It was very obvious at the point when you met with him. He had a bulky protrusion and looked to be in a great deal of discomfort. Nevertheless, you now realise it's a dog for you. It's an old dog for you. Speaking of old dogs, we are still rummaging around in the pockets of recommendations month, don't say the title.
Chris Attaway recommended Now You See Me
Now
Too,
You See Me
2016.
2016.
Let the momentum of the card do the work for you. It's all in the wrist.
Not bad. Now you want to see a thing of beauty? Bingo, bango, bongo.
That's good. It's good to be positive despite making zero progress in a year.
Thanks, Chris, you mottled old mongrel.
Thanks, Poochy Chris. It is Gem and the Holograms director John M. Chu's 2016 sequel to Louis Leterrier's 2013 ridiculous heist movie.
Oh my God, Louis Leterrier as well.
Yeah. Chu did also direct Crazy Rich Asians and In the Heights, but I think he's mainly and most fondly remembered for Gem and the Holograms.
For the two of us, Mark and Sophie. And
definitely most fondly. We all love that movie, especially Mark and Sophie. Actually, you can go and ask them about it.
Yeah.
And now You See Me Too as well.
Yay.
Now and then, before he made good films, all the time.
Too many prepositions, Paul. You know what I said about that.
Written by Ed Solomon. Ed Solomon, who wrote the first movie as well as all of the Bill and Ted movies, one of the Super Mario Brothers scripts, the Naughty's Charlie's Angel film.
Oh God.
And No Sudden Move. So, stop clocks.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
it makes sense. There's some similarity.
Yeah, I wasn't as much a fan of No Sudden Move as you, and some of the Bill and Teds were good.
There you go, the early ones.
Yeah, majority.
There you go. He's bookended. If he dies now, right now. Speaking of stopped cocks, the ultimate cock blockers. Film critics did not enjoy this trick.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Ooh, Kate Moore and Wendy Ide covered this one. I like them. Murr says, the sleight of hand thrill of live magic becomes an unconvincing sledgehammer on the screen. Layer after layer of trickery and rushing about lead to exhaustion. She also says that Radcliffe is as scary as a pair of fluffy slippers.
Yeah, that's true.
You haven't seen my fluffy slippers, though.
But they are made from Daniel Radcliffe.
They're made of his scalp.
Where did you get a new one? That's the real crime. This film's about
That's
crime.
the real crime of Grindelwald. Ide says, the Four Horsemen devise a needlessly complicated series of bluffs and double bluffs, which is then unpicked during a huge chunks of shouty, self-congratulatory exposition, by which point the audience is longing for someone to saw the cast in half.
That's very good. Alluding to the fact that they go on about saws a lot.
They talk about saws all the time, and there's a lot of plot around the saws and how complicated they are and how it allows them to do tricks.
Wait. This is Montreal Ridge, right? I don't know saws.
It's all good inside. It's all inside saw to me. Public, meanwhile.
Oh.
You know, I'm just hoping that Google is not an actual accurate summation of public opinion, and I also hope that of IMDb scores and election results.
Yeah. They got less and less likely the further you went there.
Well, first of all, the two first reviews in the list are word for word the same and come from two different users. So,
okay.
Great. Very reassuring there. A little further down, you find Michael Martin on Google, who says, Now You See Me Too is the best movie produced in 2016 that I saw. It's very perfect. 2016, huh? Arrival.
Yeah.
Your Name.
Pretentious,
La La Land,
gay.
Hail Caesar.
Old.
Patterson.
About nothing.
The Greasy Strangler.
I don't get it. Yeah.
Fair enough. Now You See Me Too
Yeah.
is the movie for you, sir.
And I've only seen one film and had amnesia. Who am I?
Who am I?
Where am I going?
Who is this? But I tell you what you will remember, and that's the Legion of Twoman that we have for this. But
Oh boy.
only a handful of Mormon. We have
Oh, they're my favourite.
boring extras. We have Jorge Leon Martinez, who is in Holmes and Watson and the Mummy, and Ty Hurley, who is in Assassin's Creed, The Crimes of Rowling, and Transformers 6.
Ooh, lovely.
Yeah. Both crowned foreman in Doolittle. We have the Fiveman, Bern Calaco, and Clem So, day to night. And then the only big person we have, is, of course, that our dear beloved Michael Caine is now a three-man, thanks to The Swarm and The Last Witch Hunter.
Oh, yes, so he was. Well,
You don't have the authority to make me a three-man. I have never been a three-man in my life. And if you think it's going to happen now, you've got another thing coming.
I am definitely upper class and have always been my whole life. Don't read too much into my most recent political opinions. They are unsavoury. And I do not want to think about that.
And I apologise for that. So, the film
is John Chu the director?
Oh,
James Chu? Is
yes.
he a Twoman?
I guess he's a Twoman.
Is it Twoman?
Twoman. He's a Twoman.
Bigman.
A pig monster is what we call the directors who end up with two of their movies in our list, but if we like one of them. Because, pig monster, if you think about it. Pig's great. Everyone likes pig. Monster.
Yeah. Ooh. Sex monster could be swayed.
Now we're talking. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that, actually, now you mention it.
Oh, sorry, but I think I got some Deathstalker on me still. Ugh.
Got some Willem Dafoe up in here. The film has 34% on Rotten Tomatoes, 46% on Metacritic, 6.4 on IMDb, 82% on Google reviews, and it made a whole bunch of money, Paul.
I think from now on, Paul, you need to start practicing to sort of grade your reviews in terms of accents and just get stupider and stupider as you go. So 6.6 on IMDb, 82% on Google reviews.
I think that this film is very well received.
Bloody marvellous.
So, Paul, you horseman.
Magic! On your face.
And as you can see, the card is back in the deck. What? What the fuck happened? You have to tell me what happened.
Look, it must have been CGI, Paul, because there's no way someone in the same room as me could do it.
No, what? No, I don't like it, no.
Oh, no. I tell you what,
mate,
Paul.
No.
The most
I'm getting out,
heinous, the most anus trick of them all. No wonder Cockneys never use that word. It makes sense now.
All sorts of confusion has been caused. But tell me this, mate. What's one thing about Now You See Me Too that made you want to be positive despite making zero progress in a year?
We've all been there. Bottle of wine at 2 p.m. Don't mind if I do.
Yep, haven't gotten any better at that.
Good attention to detail, Paul, in the fucking patronising cutification of BBC and in general like British advertising.
I like that.
Or what is also to me known as a real smashy and nicey moment, where there's a BBC commentator when they're all later on in the film, which we'll get to. We'll go, where are the horsemen? Where are they? Wherever they are, people will be watching. I'm like, oh, good.
Yay! I'm glad that
back, baby.
We all paid for this a bit. Yes, absolutely. Well, this just spectacle of a film starts with a flashback to a dark past, where a famous magician is getting ready to give his son a tragic backstory.
Famous magician, not Michael C. Hall.
Yeah. Not Michael C. Hall is doing an escapologist trick that goes wrong, and a young boy has to see his father drown to death in a safe. Cut to a glossy intro.
Bam, bam, bam.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
And it's the future. And basically, the horsemen are magicians who did some robberies, then framed Morgan Freeman for them. Also, Mark Ruffalo is a cop and is apparently also their leader in what seems like a pretty dumb twist.
Pretty bad idea from a cop.
We should point out at this stage that we haven't seen Now You See Me.
No, I can only imagine there was some sort of magic gangbang in there as well, where they were able to, like a secret identity
like
game,
It.
but gangbang. Yeah,
like the It thing. They had to. The only way to rob this bank was to properly roger each other, and that's why one of them didn't come back. Tell you who did come back though is Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Zuckerberg. Every character he's ever played.
It's funny because the actual name he's got is way better than any bullshit we can come up with. His name is Daniel Atlas.
Daniel Atlas. Fuck me.
Terry Magic.
Well, I tell you what he could do with an Atlas because he's apparently in New York. Very obviously at the Greenwich Foot Tunnel though.
Yes, I did go. Hey, brilliant. They're off to the Isle of Dogs. Oh, it's Manhattan. I see.
That says,
exactly the same.
that says Manhattan on it. So, but tell you what, though, this shall not be the lasting dignity that Greenwich shall suffer in this film, and we'll come more to that in a bit.
No, Jesse Eisenberg's going to be there a lot.
No! He meets with a shadowy organisation that he takes orders from called They-I?
They-I.
The-I. They-I? In They-I. And They-asses. They...
Roger,
and they're just
Roger Ebert. I had Roger Corbett in my head, but that's nothing. It's Roger Corman.
Roger Corman. There you
Roger
go.
Corman and
That's
Roger
it.
Ebert. Get out of here with your gangland antics.
Oh God. Well, anyway, the Eye's advice is just wait for Ruffalo. It's fine.
Yeah, he's the
Just
best
relax.
one.
He'll tell you what to do.
He'll make this whole thing palatable.
He's our favourite one.
Yeah.
We don't like you, Daniel Atlas. You prick.
Go back to the art of self-defense.
Show you the art of self-defense, mate. I like to self-defense first.
Smack around the bloody head.
Preemptive self-defense. Meanwhile, in actual New York, probably somewhere else in London,
You don't know.
Ruffalo has a new story for Spotlight. Oh no, he's still pretending to be a police officer.
Oh, okay.
And he has tracked down the horseman. Is he genuinely doing that?
Sorry.
Why? What's he doing? Does he want that? Is it a ruse? He's telling them his actual plan.
I tell you what, though, it's magic, Paul, and it's better than science.
Not Richard Jenkins is onto him.
This pigeon right here. There's Daniel Atlas. Same pigeon. East Village. Same pigeon, West Village. 42nd Street. Pigeon, 65th Street. All the way up to the George Washington Bridge on a sailboat with a guy that looks just like Merritt McKinney.
And what does this all mean?
I know what it means. It means nothing. It's bullshit.
You know, did you sing a new
No, because
song, Colin?
how is it that
You
2
think
years
I went
ago,
out of my
you were so
way
close
to
to the
screw up
horseman,
my own
and you still couldn't-
investigation? You
No,
think I'm
I used
that
to
big
think
of an
that.
idiot?
But you know what I think now? I think you're smart, but you want everybody else to think that you're an idiot.
Okay.
Daniel Atlas gets home to find a new magician.
Oh my God.
And she set up an elaborate Rube Goldberg machine and a fake guillotine in his
Yeah.
house. How long were you here?
Ages, mate.
Been here for 4 weeks.
I mean, she's very slippery and sneaky, so I can understand that. And she wants to be a part of the horseman. sorry. I'll get used to it eventually. Oh.
If you're gonna be in this club, you got to stop laughing at the name. It took all of his time.
You've got to be super sincere about it. Come on, are you American or not?
So, we get some exposition fired at us that basically amounts to Isla Fisher's out, and this woman, Lizzy Caplan, is in as the girl one.
And she's bringing some Kat Dennings energy, Paul.
Yeah, she is. I'll tell you who else is bringing Kat Dennings energy, and that's Woody Harrelson as a hypnotist and Dave Franco as a Gambit.
As Stifler. And Woody Harrelson is the most unassuming hypnotist you can possibly imagine.
It's like Darren Brown and how everyone describes him as super laid back. So,
you're feeling sleepy. I'm not, mate.
Oh, maybe I am, mate. You're just so nice. So, Ruffalo comes and lays out the scheme that he's already told to the police, because he's lost track of what the fuck he's doing, as have we all.
Yeah.
He says a cell phone company is releasing a new cell phone, the bastards, but also they're stealing data. So, hijack the unveiling show and expose the Playboy CEO, who I guess might be the big bad of this one, I guess?
Sure. Could be.
Sure.
You don't
Could
know.
be. So,
You actually don't know.
They noisily and conspicuously gain access to the computer system.
Yeah.
It is picture day. Did Julie not tell you it's picture day?
Picture day? What are you talking about, buddy? Look, I got a job to do.
I have a job to do too.
Hold on a second.
Listen,
What
I'm
is
gonna
that?
need some backup
Who
here.
you calling?
Security.
Hey,
my name
that's
is
my ID.
name is
Leave my
Bo
old
Walsh. Thank you very much.
I'm Bo Walsh, not this guy's not Bo Walsh.
Calm down, please. Hey, what's going on?
But this guy just came and put a flashlight in my eyes.
I'm trying to do my job. This guy got check his badge. Who is this guy?
Does Lisa know that you don't know Rod?
I don't
Are
know
you
who
kidding
Lisa
again?
is.
You don't know who Lisa
No, I
is
don't.
now? Oh my
Just
God.
get away.
You're ruining it.
It's a danger.
To me. Give me that. You make me have to go to Brian.
I don't know
Why are you
Brian
acting
is.
like this? I'll go straight through it. Oh my God. What are you doing to me?
They get the bad guy's signature for a reason I didn't see pay off.
No. You got to assume it was for maybe just to fit in.
We might as well. We might need it later. It's like Hitman. You want to take advantage of all the opportunities before you commit to one of them.
Yeah.
They also ruin a man's life. That security guard.
Yeah,
He's
they
fucked.
get him sectioned forever and ever.
Good luck disproving all of that. And then Woody Harrelson just fucking hypnotizes the guy,
Yeah, there we go. Oh, brilliant.
which he could do at any time.
Yeah,
I
but
feel like we
chooses
may have
not to.
overpowered Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. Well, they essentially negate him later.
Yeah.
In the best way imaginable.
They get the CEO to confess on camera.
Yeah.
And they get him to confess actually nothing very substantial. They just get him to introduce them.
Yeah, exactly. Except for the fucking bombshell that the horseman. sorry.
The fucking horsemen are here.
And the crowd goes, that's a shit. Oh wait, the horseman. Oh, brilliant. Oh, and everyone.
Oh my God, they're the best. I don't even care about what you have to tell us.
Everyone pretends like magicians are important to anyone in any way, and the crowd goes wild.
I agree.
Yeah, it's sad. I enjoy a good magician, Paul, but
who doesn't?
The frenzy.
The crowd reaction is unrealistic. If you were expecting Steve Jobs and Darren Brown came out, you'd be like, oh,
okay. Some interesting gambit.
Wow.
And also, if you cheered like that,
happening?
if you cheered like that for Darren Brown, he'd just turn around and walk off.
That's true. He's a very modest
Do you mind?
man.
I'm trying to talk.
Look, so they come out and they take, a while to explain everything that's going on. But
I'll
look,
just show
don't
them,
worry. This is officially the last time that this guy, this phone company, or this heist is going to be mentioned in the film.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Can we keep buying the phones? Oh yeah.
The screen behind them gets hijacked, and there's a new evil pixelated bad guy in this scene only.
Oh, no.
And he reveals that Gambit is still alive, which everyone didn't think he was, by the way. And that Ruffalo is a horseman. And all of his police colleagues are like, well, if the CG computer man said it, he must be guilty. That's all the evidence I need.
Yeah.
There's a fifth horseman, and he's the biggest criminal of them all. FBI agent Dylan Rhodes.
I knew it.
What?
You're under arrest, Ruffalo. Oh shit, I'm dead to rights. I best drop my cover immediately and run away from authority, proving to everyone what this computer man's accused me of.
I'd like to see you do that, mate, Mr. Magician. What are you going to do? Oh, he's dead. No, wait, I'm dead. God, he's amazing.
Oh, God. Yeah, they jump through a pipe that should lead to a van parked downstairs, but actually leads to bloody China.
Yeah. Oh, my God, how did they manage that? The reveal is very, very satisfying later.
I thought it was actually just immediately obvious. They were clearly hypnotized in the tube.
Oh, yeah, no, I was being sarcastic, Paul.
Oh, I missed your sarcasm meter again.
Sorry, I've got a hold up my hand. I'm too busy
You're wearing
holding
the
my
hat.
butt.
We meet a very annoying second Woody Harrelson character because he's playing his own very annoying brother.
I enjoyed it. It was
Fine.
a much-needed foil.
You enjoy this, I'll enjoy his performance in Venom, and we'll see who gets to heaven.
Neither of us.
Neither of us. You shouldn't have been watching Woody Harrelson. So,
yeah, what's wrong with you?
tell you what, though, it's time to dramatically introduce another character. Is this one the real bad guy? It's Daniel Radcliffe. So, maybe.
Yay. Yeah, I imagine
You faked
so.
your death. Yes, an idea I got from you. It's not a new idea. Hang on a minute. This guy faked his death too? How did that occur to him? I don't buy this. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't believe any of this now. I'm leaving.
Well, I got it from Tupac. Well, I got it from Elvis.
God, we can only hope.
Well, I got it from Abe Lincoln. Well, I got it from Jesus. So there.
Fuck. And now we're forming a super league.
Jesus just on a surfboard on the highest wave imaginable, just hanging 10. Call me.
Whilst Tupac does all the good works. He wants them to steal a computer chip that can hack any system in the world. Aww.
Yeah.
Jason Bourne level engagement with technology.
Yeah. And everybody you can call it a stick, says Daniel Radcliffe. I'm a tech wizard, but we generally call it a stick.
Yeah.
And they go, okay, well, we'll just refer to it as a stick from now on. It's not going to be weird. We're the horsemen, everyone. And
we know how to sell things.
So they go, okay, well, this guy pretty much controls Macau. I say we immediately go and tell our employers and plan to double-cross him in Macau.
Yeah, good stuff.
Gladly.
Meanwhile, Ruffalo pretends to be Jenkins to see Morgan Freeman, and they make a deal of some sort, the entire function of which is going to be to get Ruffalo to China, which definitely couldn't have happened any other way, so I'm very glad Morgan Freeman's here.
Well, it couldn't have happened without getting into a nice private jet, Paul.
Oh, no, absolutely, and you have to explain that shit. Wait, how the fuck did they get into a nice private jet? Anyway.
I don't know. I started joking about it with Nell, and I trailed off because I didn't know whose private jet it was and why.
Doesn't matter. It's the movies.
It's John Malkovich's.
Any character is allowed to borrow it. It's John Malkovich's, and he's really cool. So, in Macau, there's an old magic shop, which the horseman uses as a base.
Yeah.
And Harrelson turns to his brother and says...
Sorry, that was a slow... It got me later.
It's a slow burn. It's like Harry Hole. It's not always everything.
Yeah.
Harrelson says to his brother, hey, I know we don't agree on anything. So let's get a drink. Yeah, okay. What?
Hey, bro. Listen, I know that the only thing that we agree on is that our mom and dad had one too many children, so why don't we just let the kids play with their toys and go get a little drinky poo?
What was that? But at least it's going to lead to a great scene that really shows off the strength of those characters.
You know, the most heartbreaking moment of my life was when I discovered that you had stolen all my money and split. I didn't realize until now how much of that money you put into your face. Seriously, is it weird to have more hair in your nose than on your head? Speaking of, next time you get a hair transplant, you might want to consider requesting something other than old man pubes.
It's going to distract me from the issue of mortality.
Tell you what, though, Gambit's also having a bit of character building because he can't get close to any girl because he always ends up stealing their wallet and their money. But don't worry, because this new girl is going to be much harder for him to take material and financial advantage of. So beautiful.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to see where our relationship goes throughout the rest of the movie.
Between the rest of this podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry, that little kid at the beginning was Ruffalo, and he blames Morgan Freeman for his dad's death. All right, check that off.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Cool. Update the wiki. The chip we're stealing is the same shape and size as a playing card. Isn't that fucking convenient?
Amazing. Better than science.
Wow. I wonder what's going to happen to that. So, there's another heist where everything that happens is introduced immediately as it happens, and the same tricks that we saw earlier get used, so it's very dull.
I thought you were going to say, we have a heist where everything that happens is bullshit or irrelevant.
I mean, that too.
We completely
also...
arbitrary, redundant, and
yes,
pointless.
And there's a vault. And there's some nonsense with a card. It's all CGI.
Yeah.
Some of it might be performance. It's hard to tell. And also, they conveniently keep giving the card away from the person who's just finished being searched to the person they're about to search.
Yes.
So, that's good.
And it's incredibly obvious anyway, when you think about it, really, because if there is no level of quiet and subtle you can be for flicking a card between people, where people are like, why did you just flick a card across the room?
Slip it. You're doing all sorts of bullshit. Just slip it into like your sock.
Yeah.
No one ever gets their feet checked.
Just eat it, and one of you can shit it out later.
Yes,
we're not
preferably Heisenberg. I want to see him do it.
Heisenberg.
Yeah, Heisenberg. The Werner Heisenberg, the uncertainty principle.
Okay. Oh, that's very smart, actually.
Oh, okay.
We're a smart podcast.
Oh, is it? All right.
Oh, shit.
I said a smart thing. Okay. All right, I'll check it off. Freeman and Ruffalo arrive at the magic shop and find out that Ruffalo's dad had the safe that he died and made there, and Freeman escapes. Thoroughly joyless. So, Radcliffe has Zuckerberg cornered now, though. Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
There's no way out. Now Zuckerberg's going to have to give up this chip they've stolen. There's absolutely nothing he could... Oh, Ruffalo is here.
Yeah,
He's
brilliant.
not affiliated with Radcliffe in any way, but just best let him do whatever the fuck for a while.
Yeah. And it's one of the best bits of the movie. The couple of minutes after that, because I just love Mark Ruffalo. Can't help it.
Even though don't love that guy.
Even though he looks more and more tired as the movie goes on. Some would say that's acting, but I like to think that that's the experience, you know.
Zuckerberg gets away because of those 14 minutes that Radcliffe didn't do anything about him being hassled by Ruffalo. And then they fight Ruffalo, assuming he has the thing. Because of course he does,
Yeah.
he must do.
Yeah.
And, oh, fuck me, though.
Well,
he's been captured, and now Michael Caine is here.
Oh, shit. And there is no one who loves poetry more than me, Michael Caine.
He ran... Oh, how's he involved? He ran the insurance company who denied Ruffalo's mother life insurance. Wow, that's fucking wild. That's fucking wild to introduce at this stage. You made the stamps that allowed my dad to send out the invoice that got him that safe, you motherfucker. It's more direct than that. It's just how out of nowhere it was surprising.
Maybe it was set up in the first film. Maybe he kept getting these letters going, who the fuck is this guy? Oh, the bloody hell is this mug? And oh well, never mind. Back to me work. And then
back to being evil. So they stick him in his dad's safe and chuck him into a river.
Yeah.
You mean the safe that the dad designed to be specifically escapable?
Yeah. But never mind that, because we're reminded of something that happened in the prologue, in the flashback prologue, the flash pro backlog, where he says, "Do you know what? I may be Michael C. Hall, but I've always got a trick up my sleeve, son." Mark Ruffalo goes, of course, his watch that he always kept up his sleeve.
Oh, of course he wouldn't have just said that colloquially.
Yeah.
He's too much of an asshole. He must have been really smarmily making a comment about what he was actually doing.
If my child is going to see me die, I better feed him something that isn't immediately obvious if he gets in a similar situation, but if he becomes the kind of son that I would later respect, then yes, he will figure it out.
And be able to survive Michael Caine. So...
As we all
know.
know.
Snap! Morgan Freeman is on Michael Caine's side. Is that a revelation, or did we know that already?
No, we knew nothing.
I honestly have got nothing on this fucking guy. He could be good, he could be bad.
He's wearing earrings, Paul.
Then.
What do we know about people with earrings? Nothing.
God, I don't even want him on our side. But Ruffalo escapes. Oh my God, how? And the horsemen pick him up. But oh no, the chip they have is fake. Oh, that'll be important later, I expect.
Yeah. Anyway, Jesse Eisenberg pulls him out of the lake, and they all forgive each other for doing equal things, and now it's time. It's time for more.
Yep.
Of the film.
Yep. It's time for the climax. They're gonna try and bullshit Radcliffe into scaring him out of hiding because he thinks they have the real chip.
Yeah.
I wonder who swapped it out. What this could mean. They are going to do a New Year's show in London, which will expose Radcliffe as still being alive, because this movie adorably thinks that villains need to hide from this world. You can't be a high-profile guy who does immoral and irresponsible things. Sure you can't.
2016, mate.
Anyway, let's... we cut to Greenwich.
Halcyon.
That's actually true. 2016 is just before everything started going to shit, so...
Really, really wrong, yeah. Yeah, cut to Greenwich.
Cut to Greenwich, and it's the university grounds. Oh, it's never that busy. Who are these people? Where are they going? Literally hundreds of people in Greenwich University.
Yeah. Oh no,
this
is
for
a street.
Decades.
This is a street in London, Paul.
Oh right.
Yeah, and they've got to get to Greenwich later. So
yes. Well, we have an establishing shot of Covent Garden, and then very obviously cut to Greenwich Market.
Yes. Very obviously to
Gambit.
anyone who's been to Greenwich and spent any time in Greenwich, but that's
absolutely, and you have to expect that's the core audience of this film. So we have Gambit there. He's doing a trick. Yeah. And then the girl one is at Cutty Sark, one of the most immediately recognisable parts of London.
But that is Greenwich.
By the River Thames.
That is Greenwich.
That is Greenwich. Yeah. That is absolutely Greenwich.
But in the film, that's Greenwich.
And there's a boat. In the film, is it? We'll find out.
Oh,
Find out. Oh, wow, Zuckerberg is doing his show in the University of Greenwich. I mean, that's super close to the Cutty Sark, practically an eye line.
Yeah.
This might lead to them having to compete with each other for crowds. And, oh, hang on. The people investigating it are putting up a map of London to show where the Three Horsemen are. That should indicate how close in Greenwich they all are. Oh, okay, it's pure fucking nonsense. Cool.
Yeah.
Not even one of them is meant to be in Greenwich. All of them are meant to be north of the river, in Newham and Tower Hamlets. Not even in Covent Garden or near the river. Excellent. A lot of care taken there.
Did they say the words Newham and Tower Hamlets?
No, but there's a map, and you can see that the three blobs that put them there are in Newham and Tower Hamlets.
I'm pretty sure one of them says Greenwich, so I'm just going to say that nobody checked the map. Nobody even gives a shit where the locations are.
They didn't give a shit about the map either, because the map still says, like, Mile End and Bromley by Bow. They just didn't give a fuck.
Oh, wow. So someone just found a picture of a map of a
London,
map with a couple of things highlighted and went, yeah, that'll do. No one's been to London.
Who gives a shit?
No one in this film's been to London, Paul, because or at least they don't think they do, because Jesse Eisenberg's main trick is to convince a British crowd that they're American. And they go, why all for magicians? The horsemen are here. Everyone, the horsemen.
Somebody says reports are coming in from all parts of London. It's all Greenwich. Harrelson meets up with Harrison and says, where are you going? You're going to Greenwich. You're in Greenwich. All of this is Greenwich.
Oh, fuck me. That was their greatest trick of all, Paul. There's just a sign saying, like, Tower Hamlets, Aldi.
The greatest trick that Greenwich ever pulled was convincing the world that it was all of London.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So they use actual magic to escape. There's no other way to explain it. They do.
Yeah.
And except the girl one, who just throws some birds around for a while and then runs into the crowd.
But she didn't kill one, and that's magic.
Oh, that is magic. That is magic, great. Mate.
Yeah.
So,
Bloody
no need
brilliant.
for them to implausibly escape, though, because they all get captured in the very next scene. So, glad that we did that.
Yeah.
They surrender the fake chip, but, it's real now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't worry about
I expect that will be explained in a moment.
Yeah.
They get thrown out of the plane, but it's not real. It's a surprise. It's not real. Oh my god.
Oh no! And then they get out, and
the plane hadn't even taken off yet. It's the craziest. I bet there's a very satisfactory explanation as to how this was all organised.
And there is the end.
The horsemen do say, "Here's all the stuff you probably could guess, but fuck it. Here it is."
Yeah.
Oh no! Here's all the stuff that you could never possibly have guessed that we did.
All the stuff that makes you go, "Why
establishing or setup?
Why even do that? Why? What?
Yeah.
Why? What was the purpose of all of their magic, Paul?
Well,
were they gonna continue the magic, and then they were gonna expose them, or was it just that they pretended that was going to be their plan, and then their actual plan was to convince Daniel Radcliffe that was their plan?
Yeah, it was just to lure Daniel Radcliffe out so that they could then get captured, stage their own capture, and then, it's great. Meanwhile, in Greenwich,
classic bait and bait.
The horsemen go to the Royal Observatory, one of the most distinct museums in London. And oh no, it's some sort of magic HQ owned by China. Great. Well, I mean, that last part isn't too implausible.
Yeah, not now.
The bad guys got arrested, by the way. And except Morgan Freeman, who's here and was a good guy all along. Oh, I knew it.
Brilliant.
Oh, literally makes no difference to me. So, it's over. Ruffalo is the head of the eye now.
Yeah, great.
And they all learned teamwork, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, the guy in the computer lab was in on it. So, why did they have to steal that? And what was with the fake chip? What was that all about? Oh, the plane was made by the horsemen, so maybe it was... No, but why would...
Paul, this movie isn't going to hold your hand. At the beginning, Paul, I don't know if you remember, but it showed you the word believe, and in the middle, it pointed out the word lie is in the middle of that. And do you know where else you can...
Oh, my God.
Do you know where else you can find it? In the word lie.
Netflix.
So,
oh, my God.
Yeah. So that tells you a lot.
It does.
And, this film isn't going to hold your hand. It's not going to tell you what to presume.
Yeah.
You have to deduce. And do you know what word you can get out of deduce? Do. Which is German for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love that.
This is on you.
and that's
you
the
listeners
end
at home.
of the movie. Ooh, Boiling Point's on Netflix now. The end.
Oh, brilliant. And I went back to watching the long list of movie openings that Paul Salt sent me and thought about how much I'd like to watch them again.
But you didn't. You watched.
Check in on our Patreon.
Now You See Me Too. And what was the result of that experience? Oh, fuck.
Oh God. So, Paul, as we were saying before the episode, in a really funny, enlightening conversation. God, you listeners at home, you'd have loved.
I managed to top Chimpang Lee, and it was incredible. I can't remember it now, but it was really good.
Necessity demands that you don't remember it.
Absolutely.
I think. Otherwise, there'd be no point in continuing this podcast.
That's
but
true.
You've got to trust us, listeners. It was perfect by definition. I didn't, as we were discussing earlier, I didn't find this film to be particularly egregious or offensive in any way. It didn't infuriate me with its badness. It was just like I appreciated its aim to, a la the end of Moneyball, to create a little wonder in to try and like create and instill a little wonder in magic and fantasy over, cold, hard, correct, reliable science. But it's so misguided in the way it does it, and it's also so smug and self-satisfied.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was the worst bit.
Yeah.
It was so just so pleased with itself.
Yeah.
And just couldn't resist the constant the noise and the fucking brashness and arrogance of the whole thing.
Yeah, it was very irritating in that respect, because I like magicians, broadly speaking, but I think a lot of people dislike about magicians is the idea of being fooled. I don't mind that. I like the idea that someone could come up with something that tricks me, but it's predicated usually on a sort of nice persona. These guys are dicks about it all.
They're all dicks.
Hey, don't you worry your pretty little head about how we're doing this. Some of us have just got, more mental capacity than others, and we can do things that you couldn't even imagine. So, just sit back and enjoy the show if you can keep up. Fuck off.
Cucks.
You spent years figuring out how to throw a card in a good way. Leave me alone. I was trying to figure out how to navigate an emotionally fraught landscape that is my life. That's my trick.
Yeah. Ta-da. So I also really like magicians because I love being shown something. Yeah, I love being shown something that I can't comprehend. It's really fun just thinking, God, how the fuck did they do that? I'm not going to spend any real time trying to figure that out, but how the fuck did they do that? And the other way in which the film... So I think the heist with the card is worth talking about here, because what's amazing about seeing a magic trick in person is going, there is no CGI, there's no camera trickery, and I do not know how they did it. With this, every trick is just, they CGI'd that.
Yeah, exactly.
They cut.
It's baffling to me that you would make a movie about magic and then use computer effects so much that I can't tell if anything was done for real. Maybe some of it was, and I'll see a behind-the-scenes thing. I love that that's an issue now. You won't believe it, but these effects were done for real. Well, if I can't tell, there's an issue, right?
Yeah.
It's like Cats. I can't see the performance in there, so nothing is impressive.
Yes. Yeah, no, this is it. And it's like, okay, it looks cool, and I will admit that there were times when I was happy just to go, oh, that looked cool, and I don't even mind if it was CGI, because that's kind of the effect that a trick would have on me anyway. But it was compared to the fucking hell, how did they do that? It was just a mild titillation of, that looked cool. But I mean, the heist where they're passing the chip around, on the back of a card, for other than the fact that it's just extremely obvious that what they're doing, and there is no way on earth that would be not noticed by the guards. I know the other guy was in on it, but the guards with guns who are hyper vigilant, there is just no way that they've seen it, and I'm not ready to suspend disbelief on that. It's also it's loads of CGI shots of the card flying around the room and being caught, and there's got to be a practical way of doing something like that. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's like knocking a superhero 100 meters across the floor. It's less impressive than just seeing somebody get flattened for real.
But Paul, that would take effort and rehearsals and practice and then multiple takes, and that would be expensive. Or maybe not expensive, because CGI is very expensive too. But it would be boring.
Time expensive.
Yeah.
And
I'm a busy man. I wrote Gem and the Holograms.
And I've got other stuff on. Well, the writer probably, the writer isn't necessarily, the writer isn't the one, unless in the screenplay he wrote, awesome CGI explains how the card gets around the room.
He's got other things to answer for.
I mean, that's fair. He is a Nazi, but other than that,
but also problems with the film.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yes, for sure.
But mainly Nazism.
Mostly Nazism. Props to James Chu for not letting any of that into the movie.
Yeah,
saving it all for crazy rich Asians, crazy rich Aryans. Idiot.
Love it.
But yeah, like the whole thing of them showing off their amazing skills, it comes across because there's actually no craft, or from what I can tell, there's no craft on show. It's just pure arrogance, Paul. Yeah. It's just blitzkrieg arrogance. Yeah. And that's just the main thing. I found Mark Ruffalo likable. I liked him as generally.
That is only based on my pre-existing relationship with Mark Ruffalo. I didn't find this character very involving. In general, I was deeply uninvolved by the events of this film. Everything felt insubstantial. It's trying to pull off all of these plot twists, but nothing is ever allowed to be solid. And if everything is twisting all the time, then any character could be outed as a double agent, and it wouldn't matter. Any scene could be revealed to suddenly be faked, and all the walls will fall out, and it was all a trick, because the magic used in the film is limitless. And if everything is magic, nothing is. The Horseman can do anything and will only explain half of it. So I was just uninvested because nothing felt real. I couldn't tell what anyone's actual motivations were, or any sequence was actually happening. So, and also the characters are tremendously dull, so I didn't even really care what was real.
No.
And just the way the heists were done, everything gets introduced and explained as it happens. So there's no mystery or engagement with the audience. Think of Logan Lucky. Do you remember with the mice, where they're putting nail polish onto mice? They introduced that as a thing. They introduced them painting mice with nail polish, and you think, why are they doing that? And then later on, you see them introduce these mice into ventilation systems, various ventilation systems, and you think, what are they doing? Then they do something in order to get control of pest control, and then when the vault they're hoping to rob reports the pests, they show up, find out which nail polish is painted onto the mice, and now they know which vent leads to that vault. And it all fits together, and you realize, you go, that's great.
Yeah.
Because it took more than 2 seconds to introduce and then resolve.
Yeah.
It was allowed to live with the audience a bit.
Oh, well, that's the last we'll talk of Logan Lucky. Definitely not later. But it's, I agree. And one of my huge issues with this was the tired old trope of explaining the plan as it's happening. And it bugs me.
Steven Soderbergh does have a lot to answer for.
What does? Oh, Steven Soderbergh, yeah.
Steven Soderbergh. But to be honest, he only really did that in the first Ocean's movie, and the subsequent ones. Like Ocean's 13, you do get a lot of the plan explained in advance, and you see them rehearsing bits of it, and you only see how it all fits together. Even Ocean's 8 did it better than that.
The thing is, there's also... It's a trope because it's oft used, but if it's oft used because at some point there was a function to it, and I feel like in Ocean's 11, it's there to demonstrate... it's just, hey, this is fucking cool. You feel cool now as as an audience member.
It feels cool.
Yeah, and
this feels a little embarrassing.
Yeah, and it's because there've been no stakes really until now, and after now, and also there's no sense of peril. So when you really need them to be up against it, and or feel like they're not in control or something, or that they actually have to try to do this, when it's just explaining it as they're going through, it's just, oh, okay, well, this is going to be fine. I kind of assume that the rest of the film is going to be fine.
Yeah, at some point, no matter how bad it gets, the hero's going to turn to camera and be like, you got that? And someone behind the camera is going to go, we got it. And then all of the henchmen are going to take their masks off. And there's no, because there's no risk of them not managing to do that. You are in no way concerned about whether or not the heist is going to go according to plan. And because the solutions aren't very clever, you're also not very engaged in how they did it. Because it's just going to be, they hypnotized the guy. There's no way of fitting in the pieces here. They just are going to have hypnotized a guy. One of them can hypnotize a guy. Another one can make literally anything in the world seem real.
Yeah, yeah.
Another guy can do god-level abilities and sort of getting things off of people. And then there's a girl one. There's nothing that they can't do. Yeah. So you're not invested.
And this is the last thing I'll say, because we should probably get to quick firing. But the fact that they also have reveals several times throughout the movie kind of spoiled the idea, the anticipation of the reveal, because it was just payoff. I need to have at least. It was just after every major scene where they did some sort of grift. It was like, wow, how did you do it? Well, and I'll tell you. What I did was I bought a coffee from Starbucks, and then when I saw you, I gave it to you. Wow, that's incredible. How did you know you were going to see me? Well, you told me that we were going to meet at 11 o'clock. So
and we never saw any of this.
Yeah.
It's all being introduced to us as though it's being explained.
Yeah.
It's like...
Just leave us some wonder. Put some pants on.
It actually made me appreciate Death on the Nile more. The recent Power film that I didn't enjoy. It's like, at least that's set up and paid off. Yeah. It had one big scene where it all comes together, even if it is ridiculous. Anyway,
well, that's your first quickfire.
Let's quickfire, and then maybe we can reevaluate after the quickfire, because I don't know if this was recommended to us sincerely or not yet. So let's find that out later.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but we'll
Christ for that.
Figure it out.
I'd feel bad if that was the case. Yeah, it just really resonated with me, the characters, and I love magic and always have since I was a kid, and it's something that my dad used to like, and I don't know, I know it's kind of silly, but I just really earnestly... This movie's shit!
Anyone who likes this is a fucking clown.
Oh, imagine liking this, the fucking losers. Positive.
I'm pretty sure no. We were pretty even-handed in our criticism. Not even-handed, but we were very.
I thought you were going to be like, look, I like Deathstalker, so I'm owed one.
Look,
no, I think this is our honest opinion. All of that is true, very true, profoundly true as we were watching. But hey, here are some good things in it that we liked,
and they're also true.
Quickfire. There's an ambergram early on. The word thief. And you turn it round and it says something else. I can't remember what the other meaning was. Saint. Turn it upside down and says thief. And I love an ambergram, and that one looked really good.
Yes, that did look really good. That was my first good thing as well. Because I believed light. Oh, brilliant, so smart. But then, saint and thief, huh? Yeah. Like that one.
Pretty good to me.
Yeah. Okay. When Mark Ruffalo... So where I first realised that I was liking Mark Ruffalo in this was his first scene. He was much better with the cops because he actually had to pretend and have some sort of energy to him. And when he's giving this new cop who's been brought in, the Hilary Swank of the situation, you might say, in a film that won't be discussed anymore in the podcast, he's explaining to her his theory for, where the horse... with the magicians are. And it's all to do with carrier pigeons. And she goes, well, what does this all mean? And as he goes to speak, not Richard Jenkins goes, I know what this means. It's bullshit. And as he's saying that, the camera does a sort of comedy pan right to reveal that he's just... Well, we know he's there, but it's like a reveal that he's in the room as well. And the timing and sort of the framing of that really made me laugh.
Okay, well, that's good. I like that. Hey, they may have used it in a really bizarre way, but I am always happy to see Greenwich on screen.
Yes, always.
I love that.
Yeah.
Always happy to see my alma mater.
Yeah, I just...
Old UOG.
Wug. Yeah, I love the idea of our history professors watching this and just going...
It's out the window. Jesus. Because without CG, it's just fucking Jesse Eisenberg gesturing dramatically.
Yeah.
Whilst people around him go, whoa!
Woo! Applauding nothing. Okay.
A what?
Get out of the UOG. I'm chief of history.
I'm king of history at UOG.
The since closed down history department at UOG. Now the business school. Politics. So in that same scene where Mark Ruffalo, not Richard Jenkins, and Hilary Swank are talking, and not Richard Jenkins is laying into Mark Ruffalo.
As you would.
And Hilary Swank cuts him off.
Cowan, I know I'm new here, but as far as I can tell, people who don't even know you think you're an asshole.
When Zuckerberg comes in and he's saying,
Okay, somebody broke into my apartment, all right? Some amateur who knew everything about me, everything about Henley leaving, and everything about us. That's her.
Yeah.
And then she's just stood in front of them. And I like the seamlessness of it. The sort of runoff was good.
Yeah.
I like a good runoff.
I love lapping a runoff from any surface. I'll prove it. So, as I sort of alluded to, I know all the flourishes, or I'm pretty sure all the flourishes were CGI, but it did titillate me slightly because I guess it just reminded me of how exciting a genuine moment of finesse can be when you see it in person.
Oh yeah,
and the association there was enough. You know,
that's good. Yeah, it reminds you of stuff you've seen that's been good.
Yeah,
it's just so lame that a big budget movie would have something so lackluster. But I find myself saying that, you know, in things.
Oh yeah,
always been the case. Okay, one little bit of wapow. Speaking of, actually, our quickfires are very closely related so far. Ooh. Mark Zuckerberg is, what's his fucking name? Jesse Eisenberg is walking down a corridor and he's got a tray with a blanket on top.
Yes.
And he pinches the blanket and he whooshes it off to reveal the sushi.
Yeah.
And then sort of throws it and it lands in a drying thing. Yeah. And again, just looked like a smooth motion and a good little bit of magician's handwork, which I liked.
Yeah, that was nice. I enjoyed that. I did also like him getting stopped at the end of the corridor. He goes, wait a minute. And then his waiter boss stops him, arranges the sushi by a degree. And he's like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a nice little detail.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. So the way that they hypnotize the asshole phone CEO is that they put an earpiece on him and everything that Woody Harrelson says, he says.
Yes.
And then substantially later, when they're jumping down this tube and they're all screaming as they fall down this tube, there's a brief little insert to reveal that the earpiece is still working on the CEO, and he's just stood there in his room going, ah.
Yeah, he's not yelling. He's just, ah.
No. He's just repeating it as it's being said to him, and that was really good. I like that.
That was really good. That was my next good thing, actually.
That was probably my only genuine laugh, actually.
Ah, really?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I had a couple more. So I did like Chase, Woody Harrelson's twin.
He was a lot.
His dentures. Yeah, his dentures and his sort of Richard Simmons hair and his...
Yeah.
His deep fake tan. It was a wonderful picture. And
it's a hell of a picture.
And whenever he spoke, it kind of impeded his speech because his lips didn't necessarily go all the way down over his teeth, and it was oh god, it just, I don't know, just something about it was consistently pleasing to me. But when they're first introduced to him, one of them has the line, "That guy looks exactly like you," and it cuts to Chase with that cheesy smile, and just the actually lampshading it with that line really worked for me.
Really? That's interesting, because I thought that line seemed like such stating the obvious kind of bad script writing to me, but if you're buying into him a lot better more, then you'd see it as like self-aware, which is good. I
can see why you'd like it.
I can see why you'd like it. A twat.
Thanks, mate.
Macau looked really pretty, assuming it is Macau and not just another fucking bit of Greenwich.
London.
Yeah.
It's pie shop.
Oh, it's Flo's Pie and Mash. Damn it. It's much more spacious on the upstairs. It looks like Macau.
Yeah, it's much more spacious when you're in Macau and looking at it. Okay, so we're introduced to Daniel Radcliffe, and as a villain, not amazing, but I really liked his introductory scene. I was getting ready to cringe because I tend to, other than Swiss Army Man, I haven't liked Daniel Radcliffe in much. I haven't seen Guns Akimbo or the Pretoria one yet.
Guns Akimbo was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that Escape from Pretoria any good?
I haven't seen it.
I should. But and so should we.
So should we.
But I really like how he sort of held himself, and his delivery was really convincing for a change. And I was very impressed. But when he's and just looked like he had a sort of just affinity for comedic timing, but very subtly played.
Fake your death and the world puts its guard down. I'm able to control quite a few companies, including my old partner Owens, as a consortium of so-called anonymous shareholders.
And that violates how many SEC laws?
I believe it breaks all of them.
All of them.
But when they're done with introductions, he's going to go off and continue to explain his plan and reveal a whole bunch of things in a meta way, and it's going to be great. But he goes,
"Follow me." Yeah. Follow me.
Okay. Which,
and then they
really
push him with the guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite good. I had two Radcliffe things I liked. I liked his coat, long red coat that he wears at various points.
Oh, yeah.
And the first two of the sleep pictures because he took a bunch of pictures of them whilst they were
Yes.
asleep. And the first two are quite good because they're in a heap.
Yeah.
They're in just a heap of each other, and he's had like a selfie with them. But then the gag goes on for too long, and the rest aren't as funny. So
Had a little
I like the first two.
anti-comedy jolt for me because that one of the later ones he's just sitting there giving a kind of, I don't know, it's like a eyebrows up, like a face, and just look at like with a cup of tea with all of them draped around the table, and that got me as well. And also the title for that slideshow was Our Trip to Macau in Comic Sans, and that did make me laugh.
Okay, that's quite good. I like. Okay, Woody Harrelson's brother is revealed to have hypnotized Woody Harrelson early on by delivering some pizza, and he says, "Looks like someone ordered some Tsar," and just Jesse Eisenberg turning to him and saying, "Tsar," in a really accusatory way was quite fun. And I kind of like Woody Harrelson then coming back saying pizza, as if to clarify what it is. Like he thought maybe Jesse Eisenberg didn't know what it is. It's kind of good. There's at least one joke I like in there. At least
there's
one.
something. There's something in there.
There's something.
We'll tweezer it
I
out.
paid attention, I noticed it, and I wrote it down, and that's not nothing.
Yeah, getting rewarded for paying attention is good.
Absolutely.
When they go to their ridiculous nothing heist in the underground lab, and the idea is Jesse Eisenberg is going as a doctor, and Lizzy Caplan is going as the floozy.
Yeah.
The guy who, it's quite funny now I think about it, you know, who's in on it all along, seems to get it mixed up, so he thinks that Lizzy Caplan is the doctor and Jesse Eisenberg is the floozy. And
I got the impression that was the case, or was it that they misunderstood the brief they were given, and that Eisenberg was the sort of sexist for assuming that the woman was the floozy and not the other way around, rather than being the lab guy's mistake.
Well, I wondered if it was in retrospect because the lab guy was part of the eye anyway.
Maybe
that was just
did it
playing with them and testing them. Yeah, but
within
whatever.
The moment.
Whatever it was. Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg has these assumptions. But the thing that I liked was the when Lizzy Caplan is asked a question and goes to answer, she takes out her gum, turns to Jesse Eisenberg and goes, "Can you hold this for me?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure thing, doctor."
Yeah, that's quite good.
It's the doctor. Like the respect in that was great.
Yeah. I liked initially hiding the card when it's just Dave Franco hiding it on one side of his hand and then the other, which seems like should have been enough.
Yeah.
Should have been enough to get it out of there. Because after he searched, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
But hey, they had a lot of CGI bullshit money they had to spend. And that's probably my last one, so empty your load.
Okay, I'm gonna, empty all my balls. Mark Ruffalo does a great Michael Shannon shove at the beginning of the action scene that follows with him trying to escape. Yeah. I quite like that scene in general. They showed a good bit of stunt work, and it was easy enough to follow. Yeah, the watch reveal when he goes, "Oh yeah, the watch." It did cause a little flutter in me. And
a little. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the watch. That was good.
Oh, they set that up.
Yeah. When they're talking about how likely it is that their plan's going to work. You know, they keep offering pros and cons, and Jesse Eisenberg goes, "We have each other, and 5 of us." And his delivery of that, I thought was really good. That's it.
Okay, good. Okay, great. Well, good stuff. I think we found some good things there about Now You See Me Too. Some amusing moments. Now let's hear from the OG team.
Yeah, let's do it. The Abracadoji team.
Oja Tatimura. You see, I tried to do the same thing.
Fucking fools.
Jesus, what is this
wrong
podcast anyway?
Was them loading everything? Now you see me too. Like I said, not as egregious as I was expecting. And you know, it's definitely not one of the worst things ever. It's just frustrating.
Very mediocre, and that's its own kind of egregious in some ways. But hey, there's worse things to be.
I suppose. Over on Twitter, BT Calloway said, one good thing for not having the courage to call the sequel to Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
They did almost, and they wanted to. Yeah. The director wanted to call it Now You See Me, Now You Don't. And who's the guy who does Community?
Mark Kermode.
Mark Kermode had a very amusing, prolonged bit about how it should have been called Now You Don't.
That would have been good.
Which is very funny, but it nearly was. And then they called it Now You See Me 2, the second act. And then just...
Now You See Me 2. You don't want to confuse people or have them think about anything. Christopher Bond said, it didn't end any of these people's careers. That's a good thing. Dan Radcliffe seems like good people. Look, I like Jesse Eisenberg very much in The Art of Self-Defense, and he was great in...
That's the thing, is he's every 5 years or so he does one movie to remind you that he's sometimes all right.
But
and it just goes back to playing smug and unbearable assholes.
I just feel like that's the way with so many people at the moment. It feels like it's becoming more and more of a job. You're like,
I don't like it.
I don't like it, and I don't like much. Starling girl, Beck from Roll Plus Heart, said the card throw scene is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever had to sit through. However,
true.
That's it. I'm allergic to hermetic seals did make me giggle. That was a nice...
Oh, okay, yeah, when he's desperately trying to improvise why...
Yeah,
why he's causing a distraction. That is quite good.
Very convincing and only believable because we know that guy was in on it the whole time as well.
True.
Jen Blundell, our boss, says, is that where they sneakily throw a card to each other around a vault? I can't tell if I've seen this one or just the first one, but I remember generally having a mildly dumb fun time. And I think...
Generally?
What?
Oh my god, she does a lot of very complicated puns that are very hard to pick up on, but she sneaks them in. She's fucking obsessed with her own name.
Oh, is that
and
what
I
it was?
Respect that.
I thought you were just laughing because she's never specific about anything. She always talks in broad sweeping
Oh,
statements.
that too.
That's,
Absolutely. She does not talk in absolutes, which is why she's on my list of people who probably are not Siths. Although she does have Force lightning powers.
Yeah.
That's probably unrelated.
Yeah. Well, happy blundering to her. What bollocks we talk. I think...
True. Did we hear from Chris Attaway?
I don't think we did. He's a busy man.
Good luck, fuckers!
Pew, pew, pew. I'm just going to go back to the messages with
My
Chris.
balls!
To see if he says anything about it. Okay, all we had from Chris Attaway in June last year, Jesus, we got there eventually, said, Pauls, have you done an episode on Now You See Me? Holy fucking shit. And it said, Salt has raised you and now you see me too. So you were the one who decided that we should do this one.
What?
So it's worse. It's worse reviewed and therefore falls below our Rotten Tomato rating criteria.
Oh, I see.
So if that suits your taste, we'll add it to our watch list. Go for it, he says. If it's as funny as the first one, you're in for a treat. And I assume he means funny because of Chris Attaway, of course, came on to do Invasion Planet Earth, and I assume he means funny in a similar way. So, if not Chris, then...
Who's to say?
You got to tell us. You got to tell us, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to tell us. You got to tell us all of these things, because there's no telling what we're going to misunderstand next.
Oh, you just blundered it.
To demonstrate that further, here is... You mean absolutely nailed it? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
You're a legend.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. The one better thing.
Yay.
The one better thing.
Well, Logan Lucky. Paul.
Oh yeah, sure.
Paul pretty much summed up why it's amazing earlier, and it is just really exciting, really cerebrally rewarding, and also just amazing performances from Channing Tatum, Adam Driver, the others, Daniel Craig. Fucking hell,
yeah,
it's so good, so funny, and just so smart and pleasing and inventive.
It absolutely is. It's
a heist movie if you haven't seen it, and you should watch it.
Yeah, absolutely you should. Right, I've got two because I couldn't think of another movie that united magic and heists, so I've got one of each. Under heists, I've got No Sudden Move, which is, a movie written by this screenwriter, directed by Steven Soderbergh, and whilst not amongst his best sort of crime movies... Wait, they're both Soderbergh. Aren't they? Logan Lucky was Soderbergh.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yay.
There's that. Yeah, I would say Logan Lucky is probably most definitely a better film and a more entertaining film. Nevertheless, I really enjoyed No Sudden Move. Cool. I thought it also had some really good performances and did the thing that this movie tries to do of having a heist story that also plays into pertinent sort of global themes, and it has a very memorable cameo at the end that helps do that.
That's true.
But my magic movie is The Illusionist. What, the Edward Norton thing? No. L'Illusionist. Illusionista. This is Sylvain Chomet's animated movie, adapting a script that Jacques Tati wrote in between his two best movies, Mon Oncle and Playtime, in which a French illusionist is finding himself going out of fashion, and so he travels to Scotland where he meets a young woman, and he ends up befriending her, and she believes that he is really magic. And it's just a really sweet but incredibly morose film about this guy who does these wonderful little magical pieces of quirky business that people love, but he's finding that he's increasingly outclassed or just outdone by bigger, flashier entertainers.
Yeah.
And yeah, as a result, he sort of really cottons on to this one person who still sees him as a bit of a hero, and it's very funny. It's not really a full-on tatty film. It doesn't have that same sort of wit or wry ability with visual gags, but it's still a lot of fun, and it's just incredibly moving, I thought, and it's beautifully animated. It makes Scotland look so great, and it's really not, so that's quite an accomplishment.
Only bits of it.
Bits of it are. It makes Edinburgh just looking eminently fuckable, and that's something that I wish you all to experience. And that is L'Illusionist.
Trop de bon thing.
Bon.
Ouais.
D'accord. The one better thing. Paul?
Yeah.
How can people find out more about Un bon
thing?
Oh, I don't know thing. Zug. German for thing.
Great.
Un Zug bon.
Eager. Fucking hell. Eager.
We don't have time for this.
Eager. How the thing. Fuck me. Okay, they listen to the supercut of us wasting precious time when we said we wouldn't. Whenever they want, because that's just out on the dark web, and we know that all of you are part of that good dark web.
So many fans from the dark web.
Oh my god, they're always like,
guys.
hey, can you do more dark web content? And we're like, yeah, but you know the feds love us too. That's the problem. We aim to please no one, and so far we please everyone. The opposite of the aphorism is also true. And all of you cops, dark web folk, and all the normies in between, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook at OGTPod. You can send us an email at gmail@ogtpod@gmail.com. We have a Patreon where we have hundreds and hundreds. And I was going to say hundreds, but the rest, that would be an exaggeration. Hundreds and hundreds of hours of exclusive content, such as Paul's pitches, Let's Plays, 50 pools of good melodrama. We have our Halloween uncut and butt sneak peek previews. We have so much more, Paul. We have so much more. Oh God, if we weren't just already drastically over runtime, I'd list them all now. But the way that you can find out is by shelling out $1 a month, an Australian dollar a month. That's less than a US dollar. That's a lot less than an English dollar, aka pound sterling, the Queen's coin, as it's known.
That's what I call them.
Yeah. That'll be
Queen's buck.
28 coins and 50 Prince Charleses. And yeah, it's so fucking cheap. It's like the cost of a coffee in a place that has never heard of coffee before. And it's actually, it'd be very expensive, wouldn't it? Drastically over runtime. So, yeah.
I'm Paul Salt.
I'm Paul Goodman.
And remember, the one good thing about Now You See Me Too is just the most beautiful part of Macau, Greenwich.
Yeah, love Greenwich.